Carol Golden. I'm the Chair of Housing Initiatives of Princeton. It's been quite a year for all of us. And I'm proud to say that the volunteers and staff at Housing Initiatives of Princeton really worked hard this past year to help so many of our neighbors get through this difficult year and stay safely in their homes. We've had an incredible outpouring of community support, and we're grateful for all of it. Thank you. Hi, I'm here with Bethany Andrade Sadiq, and Bethany is the case manager for the Transitional Housing Families at HIP. Bethany, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your work as the case manager for the Transitional Housing Families?
Sure. As Carol said, I'm Bethany Andrade Sadiq. I have a master's in social work, so what I do with the families is I essentially go over what their goals are. All of the families that come to our program have goals that are set out for themselves, so really what we do is partner with them to make sure that their goals are achieved. A lot of what I do is facilitate the wraparound services, so that way we ensure that they are connected to career services. We have someone that works with them in regards to their resume building. We also have a financial advisor. We partner with Isles in Trenton, and that's really a great way for our parents to think about their future and building a savings plan for themselves. We also work very closely with the school district and other nonprofits throughout Princeton.
Yeah, and you spend a lot of time helping the kids too, or connecting kids to services. What are some of the things that you've done with the kids to help make sure that their time in our program is successful?
Well, that's a really good point. So as I mentioned before, we partner with Princeton High School. And so a lot of what we do is attend child study team meetings. We also connect them with Trinity Counseling Center if any of our kids need counseling. We also make sure that they are connected to mentoring services, so we often partner with the YMCA ACES program, and also just really figure out what the kids' needs are in general. So we have the full range. We have a 3-month-old all the way up to a 19-year-old in our program right now.
That's true.
So we have to be very well versed in services for all ages and stages. And so thinking about our 3-month-old, I've connected that mom in particular to WIC services through Princeton Human Services. And for the 19-year-old, we are working on transitional housing and mental health services for her and ensuring that she graduates. So full range of services for all ages and stages of the students.
It's true. When you think about what you end up doing because of the families who become part of our program, you are really kind of the jack of all trades of a social worker, and you're called upon to make connections. And one of the things I really love about what you do is you're always keeping your eye out to what's available countywide, townwide, any kind of programs you think our moms will benefit from, and you send them over to me, you send them over to them and say, you might want to take a look at this. This might be an opportunity for you. And I think that your work with the families is, it's invaluable. It's the key to having a transitional housing program that has wraparound services. That's what makes HIP different from just affordable housing. So with you there sort of quarterbacking all these types of services, our families have a chance to really become self-sufficient by the time they're done with the HIP program.
Exactly.
Hi, I'm Carol Golden, Chair of HIP, and I'm here with Susana Toro, who is an integral member of our Rental Assistance Committee at HIP. Particularly, Susana was involved in the Community Development Block Grant program that HIP administered during the pandemic and is actually still administering. Susanna, could you tell us a little bit about your work with the Rental Assistance Committee and particularly with the CDBG grant?
Yes, with the CDBG, we've been able to provide help to families and clients who've been financially impacted by COVID. So the whole process starts when they make a phone call to our line and they leave a message. We return their phone calls as soon as possible, and we determine if they fulfill the requirements to be part of the program. Some of the clients need just a little bit of help. We send them the link of the application and they do everything. With some of them, we have to help and fill the application itself with them because of technology or access issues. Some of them don't have a lease, and we've been able to help them get a lease for the first time from the landlords. Part of my work here is as a Spanish speaker, speak with the clients that don't speak English or just feel more comfortable speaking Spanish. It makes everything easier for them and accessible. It's been really fulfilling working with these people and families and being able to help.
It's been incredible working with you because without you, I don't speak Spanish fluently, so it's been remarkable to be able to let people feel comfortable at a time when they're actually very vulnerable. And I know that the way you talk to them, using the language they understand, but also with your compassion and your grace, it's really been a pleasure having you work on this program.
At the end, the well-being and gratitude of these families makes everything like a really rewarding experience for all of us. And being part of this team has been an exciting experience for me, and I'm really happy to be doing what I'm doing.
Thank you. Hi, I'm here with Talitha Kumi Oluwafemi, who I'm going to call TK from now on. And TK is currently the Human Services Outreach Coordinator, but TK also is a graduate of HIP's Transitional Housing Program. So TK, can you tell me a little bit about your role at Human Services and a little bit about the history that you and I have together?
Yes, so as the new Community Outreach Coordinator, my job is to serve as the liaison between the community and Princeton Human Services. I am working in partnership with the community to make sure that there are equitable access to resources for those in our community who are in need. So I'm the person who is actually out there in the community to create relationships with all of our partners, the community leaders, and the community members themselves.
And it's so needed because we at HIP, when we're out there trying to provide rental assistance, it's been invaluable to have you and of course Melissa Urias at Human Services, because you can connect us to the people who need us, and as you said, to the other agencies that are also helping the same people. Absolutely. And so we don't duplicate, and we get to the people know about us. So we really appreciate this role that you've taken on as this outreach coordinator. And you and I've known each other a long time now.
Yes, yes. In 2017, my daughter and I were in a situation where we lost our housing. And I actually went to Human Services to try to figure out what we could do. And I was told that there was nothing at the time, but I was given a long list of resources. And among that list of resources was HIP, Housing Initiatives of Princeton. And I remember sitting there, and at the time I was in Women's Space. I've been in Women's Space and also Homefront. And I was just calling everyone on that list. And this wonderful woman named Carol Golden, who at that time was the interim chair, she answered the phone, and it was, I remember, a hot day in July. And she told me, I couldn't, make you any promises, but you sound like someone who would fit our program. And from that day forward, I just continued to believe that we could make it back to Princeton. It was important for me. My daughter was in Princeton schools. She started there in the first grade when we commuted. We came here so that I could study at the seminary. And it was important for me to continue to have Princeton be her home. That was what she knew. in that early stage of her life, and that was the one thing that was consistent for her. So I remained in the shelter system, and I kept in contact with you.
Yep.
And I wrote on my board every day that March 1st we were going to move into Princeton, and I just believed it. And I made everyone who come in contact with me believe it. And I really learned a lot about the power of vulnerability. I had been sharing my story with Carol all through the process. And when I sat there at the interview at HIP, I didn't want to become vulnerable again. And Carol's eyes empowered me to do that. She encouraged me to tell my story yet once again so that people knew, because I wasn't a person that people would think would need those services. I have, multiple degrees, and I, hadn't had, a lot of the other barriers that other people had. But being a single mother and being caught up in the family justice system, with custody issues, with legal issues, I could not leave the state of New Jersey, and I had no other family and no other means to find permanent housing. And it was imperative that I advocated for myself, and that I had someone who let me know that people in Princeton care, and they will listen, and they will help.
I remember it all very well too, and we always feel so lucky that we got to know you and Joy, and that you're doing so well. And we always did believe in you and knew that you could get to achieve what you wanted to achieve. And just to have the full circle of being able to work with you now and help others, it's been really great. So thank you, TK. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed those conversations with those three remarkable women who help HIP do the work we do. And I also hope that you'll consider making a donation to HIP so that we can continue to do this work. Thanks so much.